Hey guys, I have a few things to talk to you about that are going to be too long for a burst video, as well as being entirely drive-thru related, so they're not going to be on a burst video, they're going to be here on YouTube. So, one of them is going to be a fairly large change to address some concerns that we've had raised through Chick-fil-A Cares, as well as some messages on our Facebook page, and also to alleviate some of the operational difficulties we have with fulfilling mobile orders on the front counter side, and then a more minor change to help with just smoothness of the guest experience and possibly speed of service as well. And so without any further ado, let's talk drive-thru. So, the first change, the big change, is going to be that we will be accepting DoorDash orders in drive-thru now. We haven't up until this point, but we will now. And that's basically it. But there are a few things that you need to know. The first couple of things are actually about DoorDash in general, and not specifically about DoorDash in drive-thru. One, we want to make sure to treat all DoorDashers with honor, dignity, and respect, just like you would anybody that you encounter in your daily life. There's no reason not to. There's no reason to not be pleasant and above and beyond happy, that friendly Chick-fil-A face that everybody comes to know and love, or has come to know and love, I should say. Secondly, no DoorDasher needs the slip that prints out when you do their to be collected. Firstly, it's not a receipt. It commonly gets called a receipt. It is not a receipt. You don't get a receipt until you actually pay for something, and they haven't paid for it yet. So it's not a receipt. It's a slip, and they don't get any of them. Specifically, they don't get CEM slips because DoorDash is specifically not supposed to be filling out CEM surveys. Neither the DoorDasher nor the DoorDash customer is supposed to be receiving any of those CEM slips, but also there is no need for them to get any slip at all whatsoever, regardless of whether or not there's a CEM survey on there. So just as a reminder, those can go straight into the trash. You do not need to give those to the DoorDasher. As a matter of fact, you're not supposed to give them to the DoorDasher. So those two things are about DoorDash in general. But more specifically about DoorDash in drive-thru, we are not going to be advertising in any way that we're accepting DoorDash in drive-thru. We're not going to be sending a memo to DoorDash. We're not going to be putting it out on social media. We're not going to be telling DoorDashers who check in at the front counter that, hey, you can check in drive-thru now. We are simply going to be accepting their DoorDash orders in drive-thru. We're not going to turn them away anymore as we have in the past, just like any other order. So that's first, is we're not going to be advertising this in any way, shape, or form. Secondly, and this is a little bit bigger because you're going to have to remember to do something extra for DoorDash orders in drive-thru. A DoorDash order is rung up, or it's input in the system, however you want to say it, as a mobile carryout order. And that's fine when they're coming in and doing it as a mobile carryout. But in drive-thru, if we process it as a mobile carryout, we won't get credit for it as a drive-thru transaction. You know how big we are on tracking dollars and cars in drive-thru. Essentially what this means is these transactions won't count towards our dollars and cars in drive-thru, and we want them to. Partially because we want to just know how our drive-thru is doing, and we do want to be competitive. We do want to compare ourselves to the chain, which is kind of fun, but also it helps us to allocate labor properly and see where the operational needs of the restaurant are if we know where the sales are actually happening. And especially if this becomes popular, it can become difficult to track and staff the drive-thru properly if we don't have the orders going to the proper place. So, for those of you who saw my little instructional post on GroupMe and understood it, great. That's how you change the destination from mobile carryout to mobile drive-thru. For those of you that didn't see it and or had a little bit of trouble understanding it, we're going to go through it here real quick. So when a DoorDasher checks in, you're going to recall their order just like any other DoorDash order. You're going to go to Other Function. You're going to go to Recall Mobile Orders right over here. And then we're going to treat my little Tony Stark order right there as the DoorDash order. Oh, not that one. And we're going to recall it. Everything is normal so far, but you'll notice right here it says that this is a mobile carryout order. This order will not be attributed to drive-thru. This order will be considered a carryout order at this point. So we need to go to the Other Function button again, and we need to go over here to the destination lookup, and we're going to change that from mobile carryout, where it is now, and we're going to put it on mobile drive-thru. And that's it. That's all there is to it. You're going to hit done, and you're going to store it just like any other mobile transaction in the drive-thru. That way we'll get credit for it in the drive-thru, as we should. Be aware of this on every position, not just on order taking, whether it be face-to-face or headset. If an order taker forgets to change the destination, and you notice this when you're on the window or on outside cash, make sure to change that from mobile carryout to mobile drive-thru. Honestly, I don't see us having a big problem with this. You all are great. You're amazing people. We have the best drive-thru team on the whole face of the entire planet, and I love you people to death. So I don't think we're going to have any sort of problem with this at all. But you do need to be aware of it, and we do need to be making sure to change the destination on all those mobile drive-thru orders that pick up for DoorDash. Sorry, mobile DoorDash orders that pick up in drive-thru. That's what I meant to say. So the other minor change, and this isn't going to take very long at all, we've had a number of guests comment about how many times we read back their mobile order. Remember, the reason behind 2 full readbacks in drive-thru is to confirm and double confirm that we got the order right. And one of the reasons we do this is because there's an element of human error when a human being is communicating with another human being. There can be misunderstandings and miscommunications. Remember that when somebody places a mobile order, they essentially created the first readback for themselves when they typed everything in and they looked at the order and submitted it. So we're considering that their first readback, and we're only going to be doing 1 readback for mobile orders in drive-thru from now on. That goes for DoorDash as well as all other mobile orders. This is going to happen at the order point, not at payment, because we do want a chance to offer sauces and condiments, since the Chick-fil-A One app does limit people to a number of sauces and condiments that often is not sufficient, as well as some people are just not super familiar with the app and they forget to put those things in. So we want to find out about that as early as possible. So we're going to have 1 readback for all mobile drive-thru orders, and that's going to be at the order point, not at the window. Okay, that's all I have to tell you about right now. Thank you all, and keep on keeping on. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to work with each and every one of you again very, very soon.